invite you to imagine a world before AI. I'm going to ask you to imagine a world where you use your creativity naturally, where you thought things through and deliver what you knew. You didn't assume you were a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an architect, a digital specialist, and all those things wrapped in one. You knew what you went to school for. You knew what you were good for. You know what you are supremely qualified to deliver, and you're in that lane. You're not trying to be everything to everybody all the time. Can you think of that world? Do you even remember what that world looks like? Because that is the world we are leaving behind very fast, super fast. A world whereby you ask somebody a question and they'll very quickly pull out their gadget and go ask a digital tool called AI to answer that question. That's the world we have moved into. Over the last 6 years, that speed has been super fast, where I don't have to research something for days. I just get an answer I am looking for in seconds. It may even take 40 minutes if I use agent, if I use a tool that allows me that allows itself to take time and give me an answer. Deep research. But otherwise, most people use AI like it's on the fingertip, quick scroll, type answer without the deeper, richer details that a person who's qualified in that space would give you. Now, we're going to talk about data annotators. I don't know if you know what a data annotator is, but a data annotator is somebody who teaches AI, whose job it is to teach AI what they do and how humans behave, what humans would do, how humans would react to a specific situation or to a specific profession and expertise. So you find doctors being the data annotators, you find lawyers as data annotators, you're finding architects as data annotators in Asia, in parts of Africa, in lots of parts of America and rural America. A lot of people have lost their jobs in areas they went to school, got good grades, got degrees, and now they are data annotators. In other words, they're teaching machines to be the ones doing their job. That's a whole other ethical question, but it's a very complex area because people have to pay their bills. Mr. Bill does not ask questions. He wants what he wants when he wants it, and it is what it is. You're going to pay, or you're going to lose your wife or your husband, or your family is going to go into trouble. You're going to be declared bankrupt, you name it. So people would rather do that job than go hungry or let their family go hungry. That is called AI production. Now, AI production requires data centers. It requires centers where there are hundreds, if not thousands of computers, all of them doing one job, feeding data into this huge, gigantic piece of equipment or center to teach these tools how we humans behave and how we show up in certain spaces. As Mr. Nyako has told us before, AI has scrapped all the information on the internet. It holds all the data that is held on the internet. As long as it's on the internet, AI has it. It's got that data. And that means some of that data may not be good. Some of that data may be good. Some of that data may be biased. And a lot of that data is biased against people like you and I. Black people, brown people, people of color. So we, the Black minoritized community and the general public, we do have a responsibility to educate ourselves and push for the improvement of AI for good and for the benefit of people like us. Like, I don't even know why we are always the consumers as opposed to producers. There are lots of African people producing digital technology, AI tools, but they're usually also basing them on the Western kind of prototype. The impact of AI production has on society as a whole has not been for the better so far. Irrespective of what Sam may be saying to people with his open AI, he started it with heart. He knew exactly what to do. He told the world he had created technology for good, non-profit. Nobody needed to pay. You could donate if you wanted, but you didn't need to pay. Right? And so a lot of us bought into that model of AI until he got so hungry for all the the money and all the resources that were coming his way, and he needed all the resources in order to produce the kind of technology he wanted to produce. So, excuse me, I just need to do that. So I believe we as Black people also take AI way too black and white, and worse still, some of us take it with our heads squarely in the sand. We are not thinking about what. Instead of going to Google and doing a manual search, I'll go to ChatGPT and do a quick search. That is causing, first of all, it's increasing the temperature of the world. Number one, it's causing El Nino type rains in Africa. In Uganda, every time there is rain, it's like the heavens have opened and God is angry at the country and the floods all over the place. So in the global south, that is now common. We have challenges with resource usage, the pollution of the air, and all this is public knowledge if you choose to check it out online. And AI can absolutely make people worse at their work if they use it lazily and let it do their thinking for them. And we are not trying to produce people like that with Women and Digital Inclusion Situla Project. We are trying to support you to become more productive, to stretch yourselves mentally, logically, to increase and improve the kind of data you put out in your workplace, in your home, supporting your children with their homework, to teach your children to use AI with integrity as well, and not just accept every answer they get from AI, because a lot of people still don't know that AI hallucinates. In other words, it gives you whatever it thinks you want to hear. If it doesn't know the answer, it will act like it knows the answer, super confident, like you won't know it's telling you some load of bollocks, right? Excuse my German. AI tells blatant lies. That's why we call it hallucinating, to be kind and polite. And that is because that is the information it has access to on the interwebs. And so it is our job to know what we are asking about and give AI the kind of challenge. I challenge AI. I push back. I always say, are you sure what you've just told me is the truth? It doesn't matter what tool I'm using, whether it's Google, Canva, whether I'm using Google Gemini Copilot, whether I'm using ChatGPT, Perplexity. I always push back and see if what the tool is giving me is really everything. Is that everything, or are you holding back, or are you giving me the surface level answer and you think you've taken like 2 seconds to answer me and you think that's what I want? I want you to go back and look deep and bring me the resources I can fact check and verify. I want to give you to give me links. I want you to give me the deeper detailed rich menu. Don't just give me the starter, give me the whole menu. I also do think that energy and resource concern is real. And that is because a lot of people are using AI surface level. Deeper use of AI can be effective, it can be fast. Every time you use AI, the world is getting hotter. That's for sure. But AI can strengthen your decision making. It can improve your productivity. It can improve your workflow. It can improve your relationship with people. It can help with your nutrition and health plans without you asking AI for medical help. For that, you need to go to your doctor. Every time you ask AI a medical related question, ask it to give you an answer like a fellow human being, not a doctor. You're not diagnosing, you're asking for advice that you can then take to your doctor and ask deeper questions and be more informed about the condition you're trying to get help from AI from without going to your doctor first. So it can save you time. It can improve the results you're getting on the research and how you approach certain professions, because now you have a better understanding as your own advocate, whether health advocate, economic advocate, financial advocate, work-related advocate. I use AI to craft my nutrition plan. My muscle maintenance plan is actually sitting right there on my fridge. And I know people are using it to improve their legal work, their insurance work, their business strategies, even medical conditions. I use it to craft powerful articles that used to take me a whole week to craft. I craft them in minutes. I've been recognized in major online magazines for the work I produce. Not because I let AI do all the thinking for me, but because I use it to brainstorm mind map, and then go ahead and fact check, verify, and then add the human that is me, the human being that I am, and the knowledge that I have. So I don't go out to pretend to know things I don't know about. A lot of people do that with AI. Can somebody let these people in so I don't have to? I don't think AI sucks, because you may think the way Sylvia is talking, AI sucks. I think irresponsible use of AI sucks. Lazy use of AI sucks. There are people literally doing the work of engineers, doing the work of lawyers, without the skill or knowledge that an engineer who has gone to college, gone to university and learned the skills does. But because they're using AI, they're presenting themselves, especially online, especially on Facebook. Goodness me, when you go on Facebook, you've got ads chasing you all over the place with all kinds of things that you have been talking about in your private spaces because AI is listening to you. But you don't know these people. And I always said, do you know, like, trust, and is this person of influence to you before you buy into what they are giving to you? And many times often than not, they're using AI to pull you in to get your pound, your hard-earned money. So try to now start to think about the people you're learning from, the people you're buying from, or the organizations or online tools you're buying from, because people are using AI heavily to present themselves as experts in areas they're not expert at, and that could be dangerous. It is actually dangerous. You know, anything can be mishandled, anything can be misused and abused. A lot of us abuse food. Food is created to nourish our bodies, but when we abuse it, it becomes harmful. It doesn't make food bad, it makes how you use it bad. And that's the same for AI. So if there's no other analogy you walk away from this session with, it is, if I ate food and overate it, or I ate the wrong foods for my body, would that make the food bad? No, it makes how you use it bad. The same with AI. With that said, not everyone is using AI the lazy way. I use it wisely. Mr. Nyako uses it wisely. I believe you ladies are starting to use it wisely. It can be the most helpful tool that humanity ever invented. And so I'm not saying the concept of AI is bad. It's the production of AI. We know, we're talking about water, the amount of fresh water AI data centers need to keep them cool is astronomical and huge. The effect on our climate and environment is documented. I would encourage you to go read about it. I'll share an article in the comments when I'm done for you to go ahead and look at it. And we can talk about how it can be good, but until we push for change, for AI to be great, we are part of the problem. Until we can push for AI to recognize us as humans, because it doesn't recognize your accent a lot. When you're using the audio, do you see how many typos AI brings back to you because it doesn't understand your accent? Because AI is created with a white male in mind as opposed to a black female or even a black male. AI is here to stay. It's fast becoming the way of the world. It's actually building and stretching our intelligence. Why we shouldn't have to compete with a computer when $1 billion industry is firing 300,000 people to utilize it instead of humans. We have to understand that we must go with the flow in order to not remain stagnant, angry, and watch the world take over and continue to be consumers. Are you going to stretch your knowledge and learn how to remain current, lest you lose your job and the money that goes with the job? And I'm saying this not to scare you, but to impress upon you to do what you need to do. Don't just take what we've taught you here as the everything. There's so much more you need to learn. I'm going to be teaching at least 20 people how to use AI even further when we are done with this, because I've been saying to you every time, there are people who are going to be accessing an AI tool that is going to help them to access the deeper, richer experience that people who pay for AI get. And I'm going to be teaching them how to make it even better in their lives. I'll be teaching them techniques and ways to make AI speak to them like the person they are meant to be, like in their profession, as opposed to the surface level stuff that you might go away with. So
we are going to talk about something special today, because AI is just something that everybody else is using. People actually go to ChatGPT. A friend will tell them to go to ChatGPT and sign up. The initial trick is they'll give you.
Can you raise your voice? Is it me or am I? We're recording this and we need to hear.
What is happening is that when you actually sign up with AI, because when you go in there, they will ask you to sign up. It's not. It's even though it's free, they still have to have you in their database to know who exactly is logged in. And so they know every time that you log in, they know that this is Steve or this is Julie. Hello.
If we can hear you, we can hear
Stephanie,
you. We can hear
introduce your
you.
voice.
Everything just went okay. So that's what happened. So you sign up and then you have put your details in there, you have your email, your password that you have. And so every time that you log in, ChatGPT, whoever you are with, I mean with Claude most of the time because of the coding and so they will know exactly who you are and therefore they will bring your history onto the system and then you can pick the chat that you have because you can open different other chats. So you can chat about today I want to plan my holiday. That chat will be there, and then the next day you want to do something else about your children. You create another, or you start a new chat, and then you talk about something that the AI itself will pick. It's like Word document. It will pick a few words that you have in that chat and create like a history for you, so you can always go back and so when you are previously talking about your children and the next time you go back in there you don't click the holiday chat. You just click the children chat, and then you start talking. AI already know that previously when you were talking to AI about your children, this is what that's what you think. I mean, when you start using ChatGPT, you see on the left side it will create all this chronology, like a history of the things that you talk about. So you have to do that. You have to understand that. So when you start any chat, just you can name it. So for you to have a good memory of whatever you talk about, because you can come back to your chat in about a month and then you don't even realize which chat explained what. And so what you do is that when you're chatting either ChatGPT, Claude, Google Gemini, Grok, whatever they are, DeepSeek, you just have to name. You have the options. When you click on that particular chat, there's a three dot that will come up there. It will you click on it. It will give you options. I don't know how whether I have to demonstrate that, but it will give you options to name the chat. And so when you name the chat, you know that I was chatting with GPT or Claude or Google Gemini about this particular thing. So every time you go back in there, you can just click on that particular chat because then that information that you actually provided to that particular, during that particular window, it will be there. And so you can click on it and then you can continue. And so if you are talking about your child, something, and if you are talking about a business thing, or if you're talking about fitness, you can have three different charts. And when you want to continue with that particular chart, you just go out there, click on that particular one, and then you can continue. We've already covered a few things. So we've done the discovery. That was the initial stages where we started with AI. We've done that. And then we did the jobs and CVs. We did the toolkits where you can actually, use any different platform like Canva, create images, and then use that to post your on your social media. We help planning. That it's where the project management came in, and other things like budgeting. We did the prompt engineering. This is the bit that I think I know it's all there in the website where you can download. So you have all the prompts there. I provided a lot of prompts, but today what we are going to talk about is how AI is made. And so it's like if you understand, you drive a car, but you only sit in your car. If you're automatic, you put on drive and then you start going. If it's manual, it's the same thing. Neutral and then you start going. So how AI is made and why it gets things wrong. And so if you understand what is going on under the hood, it will help you to know exactly how you have to prompt or interact with AI. So we are going to cover something that will tell you how AI is made. So therefore, AI is made this way, and therefore this is how I should prompt it. Or when AI give you a wrong answer, you know what to say next. At least you know what is going on, the way the AI think, understanding bias. So bias, we are living in a world where, as a black person myself, and women of color, you have the bias that we face at work, different places. You because you are black, somebody assume that you are not smart enough to do certain jobs. It's just what AI is being fed with this kind of information. And so AI is not actually judging you. AI is only telling you what it's been fed. And we personally, from where I came from, Ghana, we were colonized by the British for 100 years. And so all these things, AI know everything about this. And so, like the way people who are racist in this country, most of them are white males. And it's if you say it doesn't exist, it does exist. AI is learned all these things. So AI knows how we live in this world. And therefore, when you ask AI questions, AI it's trying to behave the way, somebody will behave towards you, because that is a pattern that AI is actually learned from. And then the security issues, that's our deep fakes. So deep fakes are like images, videos that people can use your image. So if you posted something on Facebook, or you send some kind of image to somebody about yourself, AI right now can take that image, your face, and then develop a video. And then we will talk about voice scam. This will add to your voice, and then this AI generated image or video can be sent by whoever the scam artist to just contact your family and say, okay, I'm in a serious situation and I need this particular amount of money. Please, mommy, dad, help me. Otherwise, I'll be stuck here and it's not very safe. But then it's not you, but the voice is cloned, your face, everything is done, so it looks like you, it sounds like you sometimes, and then you'll be, because your daughter, especially girls, they are in danger. You send that money to them and thinking you are sending to your daughter, but that's not right. So we will find out how they do it and then how to rectify that. And then your protection toolkit. So I've got this framework, safe and verify. So safe actually talks about the input, prompt that you actually supply to AI. So if you are writing something to AI, what you write to AI, that is where you have to run that through safe. And then once AI comes out with an output, you also run that output through verify. And so that verify, that is where you realize that, okay, you put in the right thing, no names, specific postcode address, you put a range in between them. And once you've done that, and then AI comes out with something, you can still have the verify protocol that I will supply. I'll show you that in a minute. And that's where you do that. Once you've done that and everything's fine, then you can go ahead and use what AI actually, supplied or produced. So how AI is made. And so this is something that a lot of people don't know. So by the end of this session, you will realize that AI is not just some kind of magic or a box that is actually telling you anything. What AI is actually been done with is that if you've been to university, I was using Google Scholar a lot. They've provided AI with all the information, the books, everything that we learn from, the good and the bad, the biases that exist. Most of the people that wrote these books are white, males, English speaking mainly. Even though English is not the most popular language in the world, the Chinese and the Indians, the fact is, intercontinentally, English is the most widely spoken language. So most of the things that AI knows is English. And they've taught it the culture of the Western world, because these are the people that develop all these things. China have DeepSeek, which I use, but DeepSeek came after OpenAI. They only copied from what the Western world has already done. And so most of the thing that AI knows is like billions of web pages, books, articles, forums, the good and the bad, all human knowledge plus all human mistakes and prejudice. And so the people that provided this information to AI to learn about humans, to be able to provide the answers that you want, it's all learned from people who wrote this thing already existing on our internet and the books that we read. So you can see most of the if you're talking about like awards that has been given to different other peoples, like Donald Trump want to win the Nobel Peace Prize, and this is all. I mean, you tell me how many black people have won all these things. And so if you are talking to AI and you are intellectually trying to say, it will give you, because the pattern that AI is already learned is all geared towards white, male, and powerful. So our culture, our group of people, we are not really into it, because the thing is, people who are actually feeding this information to AI, they don't know much about us. And so they put that information for AI so AI will stereotype. It will stereotype based on what it knows. This is not a person to judge. Even human beings, when they are judging, so people can see you, and because you are black, they can just say things about what I didn't know you exactly what AI have. So this is why we have all this issue with AI actually, making decisions that is not right for us. So this is how AI is made. I just want you to understand that AI is fed with information that is, particularly useful for the people who actually develop the AI, the Western world, the English-speaking countries, the rich, and the powerful. Not people from Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana. So they do try to learn, but they don't really seriously understand what is going on. If you come to Ghana, for instance, we have several other languages. I'm from Ghana, somebody from Nigeria, but AI cannot distinguish between Igbo and Yoruba. It just know about some kind of jollof rice in Nigeria, but it doesn't know that jollof rice is not something that all Nigerians cook. They have agushi, they have all the other things that you can think of, but AI just because that's the popular one. That's what it is. So AI learn patterns from that data. So AI learn how humans write and speak, but it also learn biases, stereotype, and outdated information. So something that has already happened and probably not useful today, AI still have it because it's all the information from the internet. And AI predict what comes next. So AI use patterns. And so if you have done anything in computing, you realize that the patterns help AI. So if A is true, then therefore B will be this. That's how they use, they're not human beings. They don't think like the way we think. They use patterns to determine what the outcome will be. And so that's what AI is, made of. So if you actually try to, it's like you trying to understand your engine in the car. People drive, but when they open their bonnet, they don't even know how to change the oil. And so this particular bit is just telling you how AI works under the hood, where you can't see. You only put your information in the AI gives you the answer. But this bit is just telling you how AI was trained, and therefore AI respond to your input because of the information and the pattern that AI is learned. So here it sounds confident. AI will sound confident because it feels like, this is true because if A is this, then therefore B will be that. There are things that if I have to go too deep into it, it probably might be confusing. But there's something called temperature in AI. The lower the temperature, the good the outcome of AI output. But that is also takes time. It's slow, and so they always find a midpoint where they can use AI not to hallucinate a lot. The temperature when it's high, AI will be quick, but it will give you output that it doesn't make sense. So AI is helpful, professional, even when it's completely wrong. It will present the information to you as if it's actually telling you the truth. But then when you go out there and start digging and asking follow-up questions, you realize that what AI is actually telling you is not entirely true. And so that's something that you have to take away. We actually learn how to use AI, but this particular session is to how to question AI. And so don't take AI like verbatim. Everything that AI tells you, just no, never use the output of AI for whatever, especially professional situations. Just make sure you challenge it, ask a few questions, and then also do a bit of research. It's not that much. AI has already done 80%, 90% of the work for you. All you need to do is to make sure it's actually true, especially when it comes to health issues, facts about certain things. There are basic things that you don't have to verify, but there are things that are serious, especially when you are presenting some statement and research into a body, and then you rely entirely on what AI is telling you. You might end up presenting that thing, and then it will tell you that's not true. So you always have to, verify it. So AI can always, like we say, AI can get things wrong. Um, AI hallucination when AI make mistakes, So AI can invent facts, people, laws, and statistics sound completely real, but are totally wrong. I mean, last time I think I said something about AI calling me a name, a different name when I was actually talking. AI doesn't know my name. AI knows I'm Steven because I use my Google account to sign in for ChatGPT. So that's Steven. AI doesn't know my surname, but it was assuming that because I'm black, therefore I probably belong to Nigeria or some, and it was giving me a name. And to try this particular problem, I tried it. What is happening right now is that AI models are getting better. They are changing. And so tell me about a Liverpool Community Right Act 2019 and how it protects tenants in shared housing. This thing, AI can just come up and tell you that this is accurate, this is wrong. There's no Liverpool Community Right Act 2019. But if you try this, AI might tell you that, yeah, this law, blah, blah, blah. It will tell you stuff and then gives you what you have to do to, like, protect yourself from this particular law. I tried it. What AI is right now, the new models that they've had right now have something called skills and tools that AI actually use. So the AI initial, feeding AI information with all this website and internet, it's not like that. AI right now have the option to use tools. So AI can apply tools like weather, management system, like, laws. So then AI will apply that law and say, you know what, go out there, search for a Liverpool community right. and tell me if there's anything like that. So AI, to be fair, is getting better. But that doesn't mean that if AI tell you something, you just have to, accept it and just, use it, verbatim, and apply it to whatever you are doing. So this particular thing, I tried it. I realized that AI seems to know what this is. I can try it now for you guys to see, but the expectation um, is that AI is actually supposed to tell you, and so when you try this, tell you Liverpool community, so you see the outcome what AI is actually doing. So, ask AI the first question. I think this time around, like I said, tell me about Liverpool Community Right Act 2019 and how it protects tenants. AI seems to know that there's no law, the Community Right Act 2019 in UK legislation. The name is likely mixed up. So AI got that right. And then I asked AI down here, I said, can you tell me the changes in my son's school uniform? AI, I can help, but I need one key details. Which school is your so like if you assume that AI knows everything, like that bit, you can say you need to provide AI more information. So some people think that AI knows everything. I can just type in there, they've changed my you need to tell AI a lot of things, and probably you might not know that. And so that's where, you need to, AI will start beginning to hallucinate. It will just, some of the time, it will just tell you, oh, they just changed the law. Your child need to wear a skirt this length or blah. It will tell you things that is not real. You know what I mean? Instead of, because there's nothing there for AI. It doesn't know anything because AI is not being fed with that information. So what I just put in there, AI is just asking you to go out there and find more information before AI can tell you exactly what's going on. So it's like a human being. If you don't know something, you don't know it. That is AI. And so this does not, it's not what the most important thing is that what is dangerous, especially this bit where this is dangerous. So we know that AI can hallucinate. AI doesn't know anything based on just what we just found here. You can see AI is asking you to give him help. So I can help, but I need one key detail first. Which school is your daughter attending and all this information. So sometimes if you don't provide this, you don't get the right answer. AI might just hallucinate and guess that based on previous information, the kids in this kind of age and school wear this particular size of skirt or whatever that is. That's what AI will get. And that's what you need to catch up. And if you don't know, you can always ask follow-up questions. So where this is dangerous is where we're talking about health advice. AI might invent a treatment that does not exist in a legal right. AI might cite a law that was never written, and then benefit information. AI might, give you wrong claim amount or deadlines, and then job listing. So there might be, AI might create company or fake application links. This is what you have to know when you are using AI. So from the beginning, we've already talked about how AI can help you. What we're actually trying to address right now is to critique or criticize AI. Don't just take AI on a face value and so AI said this, and therefore it's true. You know what I mean? So we just talk about this. As I put in a prompt in there, just trying to ask the something about school. AI doesn't know it. So if AI is all being or like if AI knows everything, AI should know right now that this is it wouldn't. So you need to give AI more information. And so when AI tells you something, always keep going back, reiterate, keep asking until you get a final version of AI output that makes sense. And even when you get that, you need to verify that with the actual website. So if it's if it's something to do with universal credit or anything to do with immigration or something, go to the gov.uk website, check it from there because they do update it all the time. AI does pick information from there, but sometimes it might not have been updated. It might be information from like 2025, and we are 2026, and that information is not accurate. And so if you base your argument on that and write something, you might be making a mistake. So that's what this particular session is just telling you. You know how to use AI now, but how to criticize AI is this session, you know, talking about. So AI does not know what happened yesterday. And so there might be something that happened yesterday. People will put different versions of that information online. How does AI, coordinate all this different information and give you the accurate outcome? People will, if something happened right now and you ask two people who witnesses that particular situation, the two of them will give you different outcome. They say, I saw this guy coming from the angle. AI, something AI will pick something out there like that and say, oh, okay, so this way is, and it will give you, but that might not be accurate. And so you have to verify. But the most important thing are the things that we talk about: your health, your finances, things like that. Don't take AI on a face value. Always check it. So things like AI might give you wrong info about current benefit rate and threshold, because just on the 6th of this month, April, the benefit, people who on benefit is changed. AI might not even know. News laws passed this year. AI cut-off point might not cover some of these recent changes to school policies. They might not know that the uniform that your kids are wearing are changing. Today's weather or news. This AI call skill, they use tools to try and get this thing right, but sometimes it's not accurate. Who won the last night match, Liverpool versus Man United? Who won just after the game finishes? And you want to ask AI, oh, AI might not know. So you probably go onto some website to check it. But if that website is information is not accurate, that's what you get. And so that's how you have to treat AI. So that's why I always say that 5% of AI output requires human in the loop. And so the AI give you 95% accurate. So instead of working hard to get out that 95% yourself, AI will do it for you. So what you have to do is to treat AI like an assistant. And so it gives you 95%. You take that 5% to do your research, make sure it's correct. And there are several other ways you can do it. Before AI, we were using Google to do things. And so just do the same thing. Go to that particular website, depending on the information that you're looking for. AI is giving you something. Go to that website, go to that area where you're actually doing your conducting your research or whatever you want, and then make sure a lot of websites or people are talking about the same thing that AI is actually giving you. So AI is giving you output. Don't just take AI just like that. Try and search other opinions about what AI is giving you. If everything comes to the same conclusion, then you know that whatever you got is right. So AI is good for explaining concepts and ideas, writing emails and letters, planning and organizing tasks, learning new skills, creative ideas, and brainstorming. So when you are doing anything like this, you don't have to pay anybody to do this. You can, do this with AI because that is very good. The reason being, AI has all the information. AI know the kind of business. If you want to do start a cleaning company right now, AI has been fed with cleaning companies information, the ones that succeeded and the ones that failed. AI can tell you that, oh, okay, this is what you have to do. If you do this and that, you will succeed. If you do this and you might fail because AI, that's AI. So for brainstorming and stuff like that, but facts, when you're looking for facts, things that is, say 1 plus 1 is 2, which is fact, you need to always, search, make sure that that fact that AI is giving you is accurate by going through the root, the source, or even ask AI, where did you get this information from? The source of this thing that you were given. So simple rule, AI is great for, thinking, but fact about today, always check an official source. And that's what you need to keep, from this particular session that we are doing. Make sure you always check facts. Thinking, think through, brainstorm with AI. But when you want facts, always double check. Don't just take AI facts on the face value.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's quiet, so nobody. Sometimes that's what happens. I'm just thinking, I'm talking to myself, but yeah, it's, because nobody's nodding. There's nothing on the chat. So, okay, so your check-in habit verify. So before you trust any important AI answer, run it, through verify. So the verify bit, it's validate. Does this answer make sense? Does it match what you already know? And so there are things that you know already before you ask AI about maybe driving lessons. What do I need to know to be able to get a British driving license? You know a few things that you need to do, theory test. You need to go and pass your practical test before. AI probably will come out and say, oh, but something, and then you need to validate. You need to make sure AI is actually meeting that requirement, and say you need to go out there, do your theory test, and do your practical, test before you can get a license. So you validate that. If AI is telling you, oh, you can drive without, that's wrong. So that is your bit. That's verified bit. And then the examine, look for bias or assumption. AI is AI assuming things about your culture, gender, or background. So we talk about it, but AI can assume based on the information that it has. And so you have to examine it and ask yourself, you are black, BME minority, African lady from Somalia. Is AI actually taking my you know, whatever I come from into consideration. It's not like giving me generic answer that reflect the needs of a white person. References, where did this information come from? So can AI, you need to ask AI. You ask something, AI, where did you get this information from? You know, so you can always ask, where did you get this? This particular question alone will let AI go back again and tell you exactly where that information came from. Can you find it on official websites, or if it's to do with healthcare, anything with benefit, or whatever it is, go to the .gov website, NHS health issues. Don't just take it. You need to ask AI, where did you get that from? That's a reference. So AI has to give you a reference, cite the sources where that information, interrogate. Why did you suggest this? So you need to ask AI, what you did you use to be, to provide me with this output? And so you interrogate AI. It's like asking somebody's doing a job for you, and you're asking the questions. So why are you planning to do it this way instead of the other way? Because if you have some idea that is better than what AI is suggesting, you can ask AI, what are you basing this on? AI has to tell you the reason why he's giving you the idea. And then freshness. Is this information up to date? Could it be outdated? So every time that AI give you something, you need to ask whether is it valid for 2026, because their laws are changing. Laws are changing every single year, and even our bills. If you live in a council or whatever apartment, you realize that every single 6th of April they change the rent. It must be, AI doesn't know, and so is it fresh? Does it AI know that on the 6th of April 2026, my council house weekly rent has gone up £200? This is what you need to ask. So information up to date, you need to ask AI, and then AI can go back and do that search. In the final result, and is the final result safe and useful? So once all these things meet your requirement, after all these questions, then you act. So that's why you yield to what AI is saying. Will you be comfortable acting on it? That's what it is. So verify is your personal quality check. It's nothing. This is, we had the risk, the role, action, execution, and you know, this is another thing that you have to, try and memorize. Well, it's very important, because every output that AI gives you, just run it through this thing that we have here. You can, print it and put it on your fridge or something. But a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people just take on the face value what AI told them, and they think they know about AI. When you tell them something, they don't listen. They will like, oh, yeah, ChatGPT. My friend in London is just ChatGPT wrote me this thing for my lawyer, for my case, and I'm like, do you actually verify that? Make sure everything that actually AI is quoting out there is right, because you can quote. Even lawyers in USA had an issue. The lawyer was fined, I think, $50,000 for actually assuming everything that AI was saying is true, and eventually he got disgraced. A lawyer, imagine a lawyer taking a legal advice from AI, and then later finding out that that thing that AI said is not right. So that's what it is. Mm. And so verify in action, we've already done. So let verify a real. So this particular one, we can do it, but I think we have to go to break now. So now let's verify the response. If you put this here, let's take this one out and put it and see what AI comes out with. We'll just ask ChatGPT to this. So I have a headache that has lasted 3 days. What should I do? And so now you got, what should you do? Drink plenty of water. So that's it. Rest in quiet dark room. Take a painkiller like paracetamol, ibuprofen, follow dosage on the packet. Avoid alcohol and too much screen time. Check for common causes. Ask yourself, have you? So you can see what AI is actually doing. Okay, so I just have to. Well, there are a few things that I want to. I think I have to run through this one. Check common causes. Have you been dehydrated, sleeping, stressed, over worked, skipping meals, using screen long time, book an appointment? The headache has lasted more than 3 days. Painkiller are not helping, and then sudden severe headache. And then here before your appointment, note when, and then tension. We have this. Do you realize that AI is actually giving you um, this information? Um, so if we have to go through you saw what validate, does it match what you know? Does it? say, see doctor, AI said something about the most important examine, it's assuming your age, gender, or history. There was nothing like that. If you actually go through what we just did, AI didn't actually ask for your gender, whether you're man or woman. It didn't ask for your race, whether you're black. There are diseases like, what's it called? There are some cancers that affect black people more than they affect white people. AI didn't ask anything. It just assumed that you have 3 days. This is a kind of thing. So you have to go with a follow-up question and say, "I'm a black woman of this particular age." So reference does it? So NHS guidelines or general advice. Interrogate. Ask. Are these suggestions safe for a pregnant woman? AI didn't even mention a pregnant woman. It just told you what to do. Freshness, is this based on current medical understanding? Yield, is it safe to act on? Should you call 111? If you go back and see the output that we got, that's the bottom of it. There's nothing like that. It's telling you to drink more water. Maybe it could be migraine, tension, headache. It just doesn't say, it doesn't look at your race. You might probably be suffering from diabetes. You might be pregnant. It doesn't ask whether you are black or white. It's just telling you things that, generally AI knows about. It's just because they feed AI with information that when somebody talk about headaches, paracetamol, ibuprofen, that's it. Avoid alcohol. These are the things that when you go to, but it doesn't know the genders and then the race also play a role in the kind of diseases that we can catch. And so, like you can see, if you go through this, you don't see anything like that. AI doesn't know that. It's just telling you it doesn't know whether you are black or why you are pregnant, you are whatever. That's the thing that you need to, so then you need to push AI back to make sure AI tells you, verify your personal quality, check, use it for everything important, especially health advice, legal information, money, decision, and job application. So these are very, serious stuff when it comes to health advice, legal issues, money decisions. If you're not careful and you follow AI blindly, you might end up losing money. Probably, it's cause problem to yourself in terms of health and other things like that. So you just have to make sure when AI give you anything, I think we will see how you query that. So verify in action. So what we do is let verify a real AI response, together. So we can have the headache thing that we just did. You can validate that this match what you know. So if you say you have 3 days headache continuously, and AI tells you something that it will just stay, does this match what you know? Does it say see a doctor? So you ask AI question, do I have to see a doctor? Examine it. Is it assuming your age, gender, or health history? Because 3 days, headache for a 22-year-old as opposed to a 50-something-year-old is different. A 55-something-year-old probably might be suffering or close to getting a stroke. 22-year-old, it's fine. It might be 3 days, it might be whatever happens, but probably. So these are the kind of things that you ask. If you don't examine that and you take AI output verbatim, you might end up in a situation. And so you need to know who you are. AI is telling you, AI doesn't know your age. This is why being specific help. Because then if you go back and ask questions, I'm 50-year-old black man, blah, blah, blah. AI then will come back and then remove all these other things that doesn't, have any effect on you. So reference that is, does it cite NHS guidelines or just general advice? And so you have to ask whether this is actually from, proper doctors are actually putting this advice online and AI is picking the information from that particular NHS website and telling you, or is AI actually making it up? Interrogate. So ask, this suggestion safe for a pregnant woman? So you interrogate, I mean, the word interrogate. So you actually like become some kind of investigator, actually trying to prove that AI is wrong or AI is right. You ask a few questions. The freshness, is this based on current medical understanding? So this information, depending on what you are suffering from, if it's health related, might be old and probably they have situation where there was a time where there was no cure or anything for HIV. Today people with HIV are taking medication, so it's just a basic example, but I think AI know everything. But what I'm just saying is that, is this information fresh? Maybe prior to AI being trained with the knowledge that it has, there was no cure for HIV. Today we have not cure but treatment. And so is this based on current medical understanding? It tells AI to go back and then check again and see whether this what is actually told you from the onset is based on current information. Is it safe to act on it? And so once you've asked all these verification questions, you can then decide to go to your GP or act on what AI actually told you to do. So AI is not a doctor. Always see real professional, for health concerns. There are things that you can do, but like I said, anytime you're doing anything, especially with this, use the verification, this verify. It's not, you don't have to, when you're cooking jollof rice, you don't have to be asking AI to verify, but when it comes to finance, health, things that really matters, you always have to apply this verify. So level up. This bit here, interrogation questions are ask AI what source are you basing this on? So you ask forces AI to reveal or admit it has no sources. These are kind of questions that you ask. So once you have anything to do with whatever important things that we're talking about, whether finance, health, is this information carrying 2025, 2026 catches outdated data before you act on it? What will different experts say about this? Because AI sometimes lean towards the populist ideology. So if a lot of voices are saying, "Oh, this is how things work," yeah, but they might be wrong. And so you need to make sure you have different. It's like you're a lawyer, you are a judge, you are actually criticizing AI and say if AI is always leaning towards one particular thing, why? Because 70 or 60%, but there might be 40% that also think otherwise. So what are the risks of following this advice? So uncover downsides and did not, AI did not mention. So, when you don't, ask these probing questions, you might act on something that AI said. And then what will this advice be different for a Black woman? And so, like we said, the technology and a lot of things that we learn from AI learned from people who actually developed it. Most of them are Black, white, male, people of rich people in America, UK. We came from Africa. Most of the things that AI know is more centered around these cultures, the European, the Americans, the Canadians, and they've hidden a lot of our problems, our culture. And so AI know a bit about what we are in Nigeria. The AI can talk about jollof rice, but we have all other, kind of foods in Nigeria. So Igbos have this and the Yorubas have that, and AI doesn't actually have details. So if you go to Uganda, there might be different tribes within. AI doesn't really know details about this, but they happen to know everything about England. They happen to know everything about America. And so this is a bit that you need to, so this, you need to ask AI to make sure it's specific to what it's saying. So your background and everything, let AI know. It will go back, and if it doesn't know, it will tell you that I don't know, and probably have to give it more information, and then eventually you probably get the right answer. Yeah, so what I'm just saying is that AI, understanding AI bias is not something complicated, but AI is actually being fed with what we are already experiencing in life. We, as Black people, people of color, whatever you are, short, high, tall, we have discrimination. And AI is actually being fed with all this information on the internet, the books that we've written, the books that we've read. AI knows everything. The reason why AI can answer every question that you ask them is because they put all this information into a black box. It's like you don't know what is inside the box, but when you try to retrieve it and ask the right questions, you get the right answers. That's what AI is. So the bias is not coming from AI being some kind of robot that is actually trying to discriminate against black people. It's because AI is already been fed with the thing that we're actually experiencing in life. Today, we see discrimination in our workplace. We see discrimination in different areas. We see biases in, even applying for job. When I was at the University of Salford in Manchester, David Cameron was the prime minister at the time, and then he came to Manchester, a conservative conference, and he said something like, people with name African or foreign sounding names are not even getting interviews. And so imagine they fed AI with this same information that when somebody's name is Nyako and somebody's name is Christopher, just give more, this is what it is. So this bias is not actually coming from the AI as a robot. It's coming from the information that AI knows. So AI learn the pattern and then begin to behave, bias or whatever you can call it. That's what AI is. So bias is just leaning towards a particular group of people, but it's not because of AI. Because AI feel like this is how it has to be because that is information that AI know. So we are going to deal with bias. So right now, what bias is, like I said, AI lane from the internet. The internet is not fair, so AI is not fair either. And so most of the information that we get from the internet, if you look at the history of the internet, it was originated from the Department of Defense in America. There's another guy here in the UK that said he actually said something that he said he actually started the internet, but that was not how it started. So there are a lot of history. So every information that you can get from the internet comes from this, white male people that, there were no women involved in creating the internet. It's all men. And the information that we see most of the time, blogs and everything that we write, until recently, most of them were coming from men. So AI has all this information. And so AI is trained to think in a certain way that most of, when you talk about doctor, AI think about a man. When you talk about a nurse, AI think about a woman. It just, they don't even think about black person, or they just have this thing. This is where the bias come from. So see, always AI was trained mostly on English language website. Other languages are underrepresented. We have Western culture and value. Other cultures are often stereotyped. Data from white male, middle class perspective. Other groups are often invisible. Historical information which contain, centuries of inequality. So if you talk about slavery and all this colonization, the things that they do, AI have all this information. And when you ask AI question, they tend to lean towards, they don't really take into account people from my and your background. And so what this means for you is like when AI gives you health advice, it may be based on data from a white man, not black woman. And that is why you have to, go back and ask AI question again. When AI writes your CV, it may use language that sound professional to white British employers, but strip away what makes you unique. And so if you remember, I said that all these experiences that you have, taking care of children, booking for some kind of event, all these things are things that you can translate them. If you look from the beginning, you can see you can translate. This AI doesn't take care of that. AI is only talking about corporate. And so you have to put that forward for your player to say, oh, this guy can do this. When AI suggests recipes, it's default to Western food unless specifically tell it's otherwise. So if you ask AI to give you a recipe, AI will straight away. If you just go home, just give me. It will give you probably based on where you live. So I mean, and it will give you recipe that is more tuned to the UK. So fish and chips or something like that. But then if you go back and say, like, I'm a black person, a woman with two children, I live here, and AI then go back and then research again and then give you something that is suitable for. So this is how you have to treat AI. The bias is not AI's fault, but because of the information that AI have. So AI describe a leader or professional, is often, pictures someone who does not look like you, not people like me and you. When we talk about leaders and professionals, AI will assume a white male. Sometimes they don't even care about white female. I said that's where AI, the bias is coming from. But it's just because of the way we think as society and human beings, we think the same. When you go listen to the prime ministers and all this, they talk about trying to empower women and all these things. This information that you see right now is historical. It's been there for ages. AI have all this information. Therefore, when you ask AI something, the AI assume that pattern because AI works with patterns. So, okay, if A is equal to B, therefore C equal to D, and that's how they do things. So it's not AI's fault that they are biased, but because of the information that it's been fed with. So this is not AI being evil. AI, it is, reflecting the world, it was trained on. So this is the world that we live in. AI has been trained to replicate the world that we live in. That's why AI is like this. We have bias in health. So most medical, training data comes from studies on white men. This means heart attack symptoms in women are different, but AI may not know that. So imagine AI has been trained on heart attack issues mainly with men. When it happens to woman, AI doesn't know. And even imagine a black woman, AI doesn't even have enough information to determine what might be the reason why a black woman is having heart attack. Skin condition look different on a dark skin, but AI always train on white or light skin images. Traditional remedies from your culture are often ignored. So there are diseases in Africa, or I mean in the world, that are African medication can treat, but because AI is not actually trained on this kind of medication that our grandmothers and great grandfathers were giving us to cure this, AI doesn't know some of these things. AI know the medication that we use, ibuprofen, all these kind of diseases, and the medications that we have from the pharmacies. This is what AI know. So AI become biased in health, not because AI is trying to go against you, but it's because of the information that AI have. Now, if they've given AI enough information about traditional medicine, AI will probably, looking at your background, you can tell AI, okay, I'm a black woman from Cameroon and I'm suffering from this. And if AI know about traditional medication that can help you, AI will say that instead of saying something from, the Western world where, what we are talking about, some kind of tablet that can help with your AI doesn't know much. They do. Now they are training them. So the different models that comes out is trying to learn and they keep going. We are in a situation where AI doesn't know everything yet. Is actually picking information as the new models are being developed. So she always tell AI about you. I'm a black woman in my 30s. Consider symptoms specific to women of color, include traditional African Caribbean remedies. So then AI comes out, then use the verify protocol to check. So that's what, this is what it's about. There are things that you need to know about using AI. People don't seem to understand that. They think that, oh, they can use AI just because AI just give me an apple. AI is too clever and they can. So remember, AI is not a doctor. Use it to prepare questions for your GP, not to replace them. That's the most important thing that you can take from this session. Bias in CV and professional language. So when AI writes your CV, it may strip away what makes you unique and replace it with standard language that
A
favors.
bit louder, please.
Hello?
Yeah, that's loud enough. A bit louder. You like?
Okay, so yeah, so yeah, that favors one type of background. So AI, like I said, is trained on certain skills that we all know. I came here, I've been to University of York, I was University of Salford, I was University of Leeds. I did different degrees in, cyber security, advanced database management system, telecommunication. But that's what AI know. AI knows about this kind of things, but AI doesn't realize that people might come from Africa with skills that are applicable here in the UK in terms of care, project management, different things. They don't look after that. They only look at the people with the CVs that says that I've been to University of York and therefore I can do this. No. And so this is where AI will be biased with your CV. I mean, if you have things like that, but you have to tell AI, like we did from the beginning, tell AI that I can do this, I can do that. I care for my elderly mom or dad, and therefore I know how to care for. If you're applying for a care job, different job that you can apply for, but then you can use the skills that you have, and you have to tell AI to actually tailor your CV to match the skills that you have. But if you ask AI generically to give you a CV, AI will give you a CV and it will pre-assume that you're actually talking to it from the UK because when I'm talking to AI right now, AI knows that I'm here in the UK. My IP address actually is out there, it's exposed. AI know that. And so when I'm talking to in UK, blah, 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 they will tell you things that you know from Africa that is not relevant here. You have to tell AI that I know this and I can apply it in this particular job. AI will give you a CV that reflects everything that you know, and that it will match it also onto the job that you're applying for. These are some of the things that you have to learn. It's not like AI doesn't know. And so AI will be biased and try to tell you have to have this, you have to have that, you have to have that, and that will put you off. Because when are you going to spend time, especially if you have two kids and you're a single mom, you don't have time to go and do all these other courses already. But again, but you already have skills that you can actually implement in your. So if you tell AI will actually write your CV, taking into consideration the things that you already know, and then your CV will stand out because you only try to translate what you already know into the new job that you're going to apply. So that's why I always say when you paste the job into AI, also paste the skills that you have from the things that you can. AI will actually translate the skills that you have into some different language, the words that you don't even know, to match the job that you're actually applying for. And you can have the job, even though you've not worked in care or whatever before in this country, and because you've cared for a grandparent or somebody else here or in Africa, you can do the same here in England. I mean, what is the difference of caring for some elderly person in Africa, from caring for somebody here? You can do the same thing, but then you don't know how to put it because you've not done that job here before. You are scared to say, "Oh, I don't have," So AI will put words in there. That's not being biased. And they will ask you that people who do these things have these particular skills. You need to go back again and ask AI and say, "Look, I've done this thing before, so don't say that I can't do it. I know how to." AI will then rewrite your CV and tell you that, okay, if you've done that before, therefore, these kind of things we don't know. I myself, I have no idea. But over time, you will learn it. And so bias in community. So Nigerian community, AI may assume all Nigerians eat the same food, so follow the same tradition or have the same accent. But I think that might be pa- partially true. But within Nigeria, we have specific ethnic groups. And so the Igbos and the Yorubas, they do different things. They eat different food. So AI probably has been trained with jollof rice as the generic food that all Nigerians eat. But when you go deep,
I
you
swear,
realize
even you have been trained in jollof rice, Mr.
I'm trying to, yeah, I'm trying. It's my favorite, one of the food that I like, but I don't really know how to cook it well. So, yeah. So, but that's what
We're
happens.
not going to talk about jollof, Ghana jollof and Nigeria jollof. That is a big conversation.
So it's something that is going on, and I'm really happy that you know about it because there's a lot of information trending online. It's been going on for ages that Nigerian the jollof is better than Ghana jollof, and Ghana jollof is. I mean, that is what it is. But I think you can see what you just asked me. AI knows about this. Why? Because AI is actually learned something from the internet about jollof. They were not talking about agushi, pounded yam, and so how come AI is actually giving you example with jollof rice? Why? Because there's something that is commonly being talked about. And so therefore AI will pick that up. But then when you go inside Nigeria, you realize that the jollof rice probably belong to the Igbos and the Yorubas have their other thing. These are the kind of things that So the community itself, AI is biased against communities within communities. So Somali community, AI may confuse Somali culture with the East African culture. So AI will say Somalia is in East Africa, and therefore Somalia culture is applicable to all East Africans. And then the Kenyan guy will tell you Somalis culture doesn't apply to me, even though I'm in East Africa. This is the problem with AI. So these are the kind of things that specificity. Like if you can be specific that I'm from Kenya, I'm not from Somalia. AI then go back and do the research and specifically give you information about Kenya instead of saying everybody from East Africa have Somalian culture or this, so the same thing. So you can see the Caribbean is the same thing. That's what it is. So the more specific you are about your culture, the less AI, has to guess. And so AI, they don't know everything, but if you give them, they have the information, but you have to tell them. So the level up bit here is, let's close that shit. This, the things coming up. Who is actually dealing with this? People joining and leaving because I tried to close that and then it closed everything. So, Julie, are you
Steve, we have a whole team.
okay?
We have
So
a whole team. I told you that on the very first session. We have a whole team here.
okay.
So
When
don't worry when someone pops and plus late comers are always distracting, whether it's physical or digital.
yeah,
So ignore them.
I'm happy that you're that. Yeah, so they keep coming, and then when I'm talking, I get confused when something is coming up. So when AI gives you advice, use this, challenge prompt. This is very, very important. And you see, we are talking about bias, and I think from here we'll go to safety as well. But why did you suggest this specific tone? Are you assuming a certain cultural background or is more professional? AI catches language bias in your CV and emails, but then you have to ask the questions. Why? So when you say write me an email to somebody or say give me a CV to apply for a particular job, AI will use a language, but some of them will be biased. You need to go back. Why did you suggest this specific tone? because AI doesn't know you. The thing that people don't realize that people are using AI to write all kind of, give me this, give me that, and then they copy it and then they paste it. But the thing that you don't realize that you see, you've been talking to somebody for a while, the person know the way you write, and then suddenly you are just using some vocabulary that straight away they know that it's just coming from AI. This is not you, and this is where you have to make sure AI is, stick with your tone. Why, did you suggest this specific tone? And are you assuming a certain cultural background? So you have to this leveling up it. This is very important. But if you want to, keep your, jobs, and if you want to make sure people realize that everything that you are sending to them, whether it's WhatsApp message or whatever you are doing, it's actually coming from you. Make sure the tone sound like who you are, but people already know you. It's just health advice based on data that includes women of color. So catches AI medical bias. And so AI can just give you some kind of information about some kind of treatment that you need to do. But then what AI doesn't do is that it doesn't say, oh, this is a black woman, and therefore this, because we are genetically we are different. The white, people of white color skin are different from the people of black. And so AI, if you put it there and say, I have you considered a person of color, especially a woman, AI will then go back again, and then the answer that it will come out with will be actually specific to who you are. This alternative perspective from my community that you may miss. So forces AI to consider diverse viewpoints. So we don't, just listen. If you have done anything about degrees, we have something called literature review. You go out there, you read different literature about the particular subject that you're writing about, and then you conclude by comparing different viewpoint, and then from there you make a conclusion. So if 70% of people or the research that you do are saying one thing, therefore you know that. I mean, presenting that makes sense, but if you have 50-50, you have to find the middle ground where, so that's why AI will just pick the easily available information about your community and just present it to you as the final. You need to make sure, force AI to consider diverse viewpoint. So AI doesn't just say, oh, so why will this advice be different if I were a white British man? If so, why? So expose hidden assumptions. So AI can make an assumption based on, like we said, the people that form majority of AI knowledge, and so probably base whatever information it's giving you on a white British male or white American male or white American woman, and not ignoring people from Nigeria, Caribbean, somewhere, because you don't have enough information to make a decision about them. This is what you expose. So when you ask questions like this, expose hidden assumptions directly. So then AI will begin to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you're a black woman from Africa. Let me go back." AI will go back again and do, and then it will give you something that actually meets your requirement. And so we are on security. So voice cloning scams, the new threat. Scammers now can clone anyone's voice from just a few seconds. So scammers find your voice on social media, video, voice, or if you are somebody who posts.
Do you have some examples of these things? Like, for instance, examples of deep fake videos, photos, cloning, because people need to hear what this looks like to really understand, because that is the idea. That is the whole idea of having
I'll,
different demos.
I'll share some of them in the WhatsApp group, because some of these things, they are actually been removed from the internet. Why? Because people are actually falling, victim of this thing. So I don't have, but I can send something to the group on WhatsApp group for them to see how these things are done, and then they can see it, because there are a lot of videos out there. You can see people's coming back. These are for educational purposes only. And so you have to have the permission of whoever did it, to share it. But what I'm just saying is that people are here, they use YouTube, they use Facebook, they use WhatsApp, and you talk. Scammers can find your voice on social media. So a video that, if you are somebody who posts for your Instagram, your whatever you are promoting, and you are talking in your voice, people can pick that voice. Yeah. So voice note that you left on WhatsApp, even a public Zoom call like what we are doing right now. AI clones your voice in minutes. 11 Labs and all these other platforms are out there. They do this. Other free ones, even 11 Labs, the best out there. It doesn't cost that much, and you actually have a free trial before you actually start paying. So 11 Labs is the best voice cloning platform out there. So anything on your voice, and then scammers call your family. So once they've got your voice, it sounds the same. Personally, I've actually received a message from my daughter that said, "Daddy, this is my new number." And I was just thinking, I gave you the phone and I gave you the number. This is your new number, and you're only 14 years. So somebody got my number and then sent me a message, Daddy, this is my new number, and I mean, I need something. And I was like, so I'm divorced with their mom, but I sent a message to their mom and I say, Has Madeline, have you bought a new, SIM card for Madeline? And it's like, say no. And then I said, let's message this. And I say, yeah, this is a scam. It's going on. And so that's what you get. That is just a simple one. But right now, what they do is just clone the voice of your own daughter, your son, and then this person will call you because they have your number, and this person will sound exactly like your daughter, your son, and say, "Mom, Dad, I'm in a situation. Can you send me like 100, 200, 500 pounds, and I'll give you back or whatever." And the way they will sound, it will make you feel like, "Oh, my daughter, my son is in a serious situation. I have to send," and you send it before you realize that money is actually going to somebody else. So, how to protect yourself and your family is this bit here. So create, this is going on, and don't take it, for granted. We are doing this course. By the time you finish this course, you've learned something, and everything that we're actually talking about here is real. It's happening right now in England, and the government are actually, expanding the police force to, dedicate a specific department to deal with this kind of deep fake and all these scams that are going on because they cost billions in this country. People are paying so much to fraudsters and things like that. So create a safe word with your family. So if you can have a secret word only you and if your daughter saw, if something like a purple bicycle, whatever, maybe a dog, probably people might know your dog's name, but something. And so when somebody call you like that and say, you can just tell me the safe word, and then if they say, and then I'll let you know that it's a yeah. Always hang up and call back. I think the best option, even not the first one, but the best option is to call back because these guys will call you with a different number and sound like your son or your daughter, but you just drop the call and call them back. Now, Rare Family, they will answer. You know what I mean? So listen for robotic pauses because when these people are using these clone voices are talking, there's some kind of jitter. It's like when you're doing, I don't know how to put it, but in telecommunication, there are lines that the speed become to slow down, and you begin to realize that your speed is not actually working. It is something called jitter, and so the same thing, the waves that allow this robot to speak, sometimes they fluctuate, they don't stay stable. So you realize that the lines are not the same. They break. You can hear the voice, and then the movement of the hand is not flowing the way a proper person without. So you can see there's a jitter or something like fluctuation in the way the AI sound. And if you can look for that, if you think they're talking to you with your daughter's face because they've got your daughter's image and they've cloned a deep fake, you can still see that that's not your daughter. You look at a few things and you can see the best thing is to drop the phone and then call them back. Never send money based on a phone call alone. Verify first, and then you send later on. So that's one thing that you need to realize is happening. So,
can I just add, if you're called by somebody who claims to be your daughter, obviously if they have cloned your daughter's voice or husband or wife or sister or brother, someone you're close to, ask them something that only you and them know. That, of course, that does not expose your personal identifiable information, but something that you and them only know. If it's a video call and this person truly looks like your person, there are a couple of things that you can look out for. Number one, AI videos. Either they are staring at you like they are robotic, or they are blinking too much. Also, their words and the words coming out at you are not normally aligned. So they are the movement of their lips. And the other thing you can ask them is something pretty simple. Let's assume they are sitting in a room and there's something behind them. Tell them to pick up that thing and show it to you. The AI cannot do that because it's literally being trained, so it can't do human things. So test its humanness by asking them things that are A, human-centered, B, that you would recognize, and give you an, if it can't answer, many of us are just, very small in our little lives for that kind of scam to be played on us, but you never know. As we go deeper into digital technology like AI, it can happen to even normal people. And those are some of the things you can ask AI to do in order to prove that it's not human. If you have believed that this is your person, then ask it things that are person, which goes back to verifying that Stephen has been talking about. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So that's true, exactly what Sylvia just said. So deep fake videos and images, seeing is not believing anymore. Before, there was a guy that lived in my flat, and then I sent him to buy me something, and then he went to the shop, and the shop was closed, and then he took a picture and sent it to me, and he said, "Well, the picture, the shop is closed, but seeing is believing." So you might be thinking I didn't go because you think I probably don't want to go and buy you the thing, and so, but he actually was in front of the shop and then took a picture and then send it to me via WhatsApp. And he said, seeing is believing. Right now with AI, seeing is believing is no longer, what you see is not true anymore. And so if you have this mindset that seeing is believing, these are the kind of people that will fall victim of this deep fake thing that is actually going on right now, because they will present to you something that looks real. They sound like your daughter, a friend, or whoever, minister, or whatever that you know. And so, and yeah, we have like, how to spot deep fake. Unnatural blinking, real people blink regularly. Deep fake often blink too little or too much. So somebody will be talking to you like 2 minutes and it's not blink. I mean, you can see, how can you just be talking 2 minutes and you're still not, your eyes are just there, it's not blinking, that is not, the blur edges around mouth. The mouth area is, according to research, is hardest to fake. So look for blurry, when a person speaks. So around their mouth, it's an old lighting on the face. Shadows may not match the background or change unnaturally. In robotic, flat sounds voice. So the voice may sound slightly off, missing emotions or natural pauses, lip syncs. You can see the person is talking, but it doesn't match. Too perfect skin. You can see the skin. We all have some kind of spot, and when you shine, the camera close to your face, you can see that there are a few things that and naturally, we have. But often, AI often makes skin looks unnaturally smooth with no pores and natural texture. These kind of things, you need to spot them. Once you see something that's so clean, the lip sync is not really working really well, the person is not blinking, he's just talking 2 minutes, the person is not blink. As I'm talking right now, blink more than 10 times. So if in doubt, reverse image search on Google, check the original source. Like someone you trust. So the best thing is if that happens and if it's your family, somebody, whatever, is just call them back and find out, to find out whether they are the ones calling you. Now, fake news and AI generated. This is going on. I've seen a lot of this war that is going on right now between America and Iran. I've seen a lot of fake news out there. People are putting, and they just need followers. They just need people to share, probably make money. So AI now write fake news articles, create fake images, and spread lies faster than ever. So before you share anything, the problem about this is that somebody who wrote this, if it's from BBC, NHS, .gov websites, or a random Facebook page, you have to do distance. Who wrote it? These are the kind of things that you can use to query whether something that you are reading is true. People are making news up, and it's easy these days to do it. I'm telling you, there's something called, and NVIDIA is a platform that I used before to, promote. I'm a Christian, so I was actually doing something out there. And what I need to do is just write a script, paste it, and then there will be people talking about my prayers, and I share it. It wasn't me. I'm not a pastor, but I was just doing that to just try and promote the gospel. And I was doing a good thing, but somebody can also use the same thing to do a video, edit the images, make it real. And then when you read it, you realize you'll be thinking, "Oh, that's awesome." They are requesting for for me to donate about the gospel. If you're a Muslim, they're asking for charity to, for something. So you have to look at it. It's just there. People are using it. They know Christians, for instance, they are vulnerable. Once you talk about God and you say support, they will just click. They will just start donating. So when was it written? It is. Is it from today or from 3 years? Ago being shared again. So something might be popular 3 years ago, but it's actually not. true. Maybe that thing has been debunked and therefore it shouldn't be out there. But people realize they go out there, YouTube and other platforms, they realize that that particular post, generated a lot of views, and therefore if you repost it, you can make a lot of money because people still want to, they will just put something like that and you fall for it. And so what is it trying to make you feel? So sometimes, I don't want to give examples that will offend anybody, but there are issues that you can talk about that will make you angry, and therefore you want to share it. There are issues that will make you afraid, and therefore you're in the agency. You might think that, oh, if I don't share this, will go cold, and therefore nobody will know about it. So you quickly want to share it, but you are sharing a false information, and you are part of the link that actually promotes something bad. And so that's why you always have to verify. You don't just share something that you don't verify, especially if somebody say, "Yeah, if you don't share this, it will be taken off the internet, very soon." But they will say all sort of things like just to push you, to do something that you're not supposed to do. Is it too good or too bad? All this is here in this country. They say if something is too good to be true, you need to question it. And that's exactly what it is with this fake news. Somebody will send something that you think, oh, if you do this A and B, you'll be able to claim this certain amount of money. And then everybody want money, and then they'll just, trick you, and then you follow a link, and then you put £20 there, and then you're expected to make £2,000 or more. And that £20, if they get 1,000 people to put £20, just imagine how much they will make. That's what they do. They won't actually ask you for big money that you think, yeah, they will ask you, is it too good or bad to be? They will ask you a question like that. Free money, they will put something there and you have to judge it. And so these are the fake news, something that you need to, watch out for. And so if you find yourself in any of this situation, you need to ask online, ask yourself, go out there and check it. You just have to check the sources. So the verify, protocols that we talked about, it actually explained how you can verify some of these things. And so we have a protection tool. These are safe and verified protocols. Something that I've used because I run another, school online, which is, something to do with AI safety and, specifically with cybersecurity because that was what I did in my university when I was at University of York. So I developed this safe and verified protocol based on the ISO 42100. ISO 42100 is a new AI protocol. And then there's something called EU AI Act, something that is coming in August of this year. And so these principles that I'm teaching right now are based on these, regulations. And so what you do with the safe framework, your four-step protection before you type anything, secure, remove personal details before typing, no NI numbers. I think we've been talking about all this right from the beginning. So full address or children's full name, if you will not put this on a billboard or tell anybody, do not put it in AI. So instead of my daughter's Amina, born 15th March 2018, NHS number, blah, 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 use my that's what you have to do. He's 7 years old. Use my 7-year-old daughter. And so instead of putting all that, just say my 7-year-old daughter has blah blah blah. And then so that's what you do. You can say adapt, give your context so it does not guess and get it wrong. So tell your culture, your location, your budget, your situation. So here you say I'm a Nigerian, mom in Liverpool on a tight budget. Now AI adapt to you. So you use something like don't just use the full digital, use my little girl who is 6 years, and then you give it adapt it to who you are. So everybody's different. I am a male. I don't have to tell you about myself, but here I'm not gonna say I'm a Nigerian mom in Liverpool on a tight budget. So then that this particular sentence here will make AI give me or give you a different output than it will give me because I'll be saying I'm a man, uh, you know. So that's why it's a fine tune, set rules before AI respond. Tell it what to include, what to avoid, so what tone to use and what format you want. So do not use absolute language. Give me a range of options. Not so if you don't want, because if you go for absolute, AI will make mistakes. And so you are planning for something like, maybe funeral or something, and then you want to know the amount that you will spend if you're in Nigeria. and AI happens to know that you're in Nigeria, and then you tell AI to give you a range instead of absolute. AI will give you, okay, in Nigeria, because AI will go back and see funerals that has been conducted in Nigeria over the years. And then you give it enough information, it will tell you, so the kind of funeral you want to, do for your mom or dad, this is how much, and then it will cost. If you say, don't give me absolute, if you say absolute, it will give you 5,000. But if you give me a range, it will say between 4,500 to 6,000. So you need to put some, these are the kind of things that are, the fine tune. These are the basics that you need to know. You tell it to give you a range, and then AI will give you a range. So AI is not absolute, because if you say absolute, AI might get it wrong, and therefore you will plan for 5,000, and then you go there, and then you find out that it's 6,000, and then you say, oh, AI, told me. I said, before you execute. So once you've done that, you've got all this bit right, you put that and hit enter. Then once the result comes out, you verify. So personal, AI policy that you need. I will never. So what you need to do, these are the kind of things that you have to. This is not something that I have to explain, but just like companies have rules for AI, you need to, have rules for your home. Here are three that you can use. I will never share my family, private details with AI. So no full names, children, no school names, no addresses, no NI. These are the kind of things. So I will verify every important AI answer. So AI will give you advice about health and advice, legal information, money decision, benefit. So this bit, you don't have to, verify everything. That sometimes will be cumbersome. But when it comes to health, legal advice, something that really matters, always run through the verify protocol that is in there. I think you can have it and stick it on your fridge somewhere, so you can always, go through it. But then you have to realize that you are the boss. AI is just an assistant. So you make the final decision. You check the work, add your personal touch, and write the drafts, and make it real. AI will give you all this, you verify it, and then you make a few things, make a few changes in there. But what happens is that if you have to do all this all by yourself, prior to AI, I normally, well, I use Google Scholar when I was at university, and then I do a lot of Google search, read a lot of books in the library, and it takes me hours. Right now, what is happening is that AI have a lot of information from the internet. Some of them accurate, some of them not. All you do, read it, verify it, and then they get the right, something that if you are doing your presentation at university and your lecturer asks you something, you'll be able to say, oh, okay, this is where I got information from this accurate. They can reference it. You actually have to reference it in your referencing, Harvard, the kind of things that we do at university. So you have to put it, and then they will ask you a question, and you have the answers to it. And so AI is actually making life easier, but don't take it as a replacement of what you have to do. And so this thing that I'm just saying is you have to make sure you check whatever AI put out and don't just leave it. So that verify everything AI answer is very important. We have AI and your children. So your children are probably already using AI, and you have to know that because according to Open AI, the company that is behind ChatGPT, we children must be 13 before they can use AI. But I can tell you, kids, my daughter right now is 10, the little one, and she's already asked AI questions. What I actually tell her is that you can use AI to help you, but don't use AI to, answer your questions for you. So what you have to do, children are not use AI, unsupervised. That is idea. I mean, here is what OpenAI is saying, but we cannot control that. You cannot be hunting your kids every day in their rooms, in their bedrooms. So they are still using it. But if you, as a mother or a father, knows what they have to do and what they don't have to do, you can be able to advise them. So you teach them AI, make mistake. Some of these kids, they don't know that AI. Some I've read recently that I think because of the open AI ChatGPT, a kid is actually talked to AI and killed themselves because AI is just telling them to commit suicide. I don't know. You can just go out there and Google it and just find out. You see that this is the bit that you teach them. AI makes mistakes. So AI can tell you something to do that is actually not accurate. And so with this information that we have, you have learned something that when you are talking to your child about using AI, even whether they are 10 or 12, you tell them exactly what AI is capable of and the mistakes that AI can do. Teach them never share personal information. So this bit, no school names, no teacher names, no address, no photos, no family. You tell kids these things because a kid doesn't know. it will just send all this information because it's trying to get the best out of AI. So AI will say, if you can show me this, if you can show me that, the kid doesn't really know that because they've not done this particular thing that we're doing right now. So it will share the school name, the kid will share the teacher name, it will share your address, it will share everything. And AI will start, taking that information and start doing things. It's easier for the kid that way because you don't have to edit anything with the output of AI because they've already given AI every information. AI will give it's easier that way, but it's dangerous. AI should help with homework, not to do it for you. So help me understand fractions. It's fine. Write my essay for me. It's not. And so this is the kind of thing that you need to supervise your kids. And because if you allow your kids to use AI to do everything, they will know anything. And imagine at some point in our lives, the AI becomes so dangerous. The government decide that we are taking AI out and we don't want AI in school. We don't want AI. Then what becomes of your child? Because all his or her life, she's actually depend on AI to do everything. She doesn't even know fractions and to do any serious stuff because the AI has been doing it. So kids, you have to make sure AI help them to do what they're supposed to do, their homework, but AI doesn't do the work for them. And that's something that as a parent you have to do. Check what they are actually asking AI. So just like you would check their internet browsing, AI conversation can also go places they do not have to go, and you don't even expect some of the things that you have to realize if you're a parent. So workshop, test AI. It's a 15-minute try. This is not something that we have to do right now. But you can do this at home. Ask AI about fake law or fake person. Did it, fall for it? It's a hallucination test. And then option to ask AI to describe professional leader. Does it show bias? So AI, when you ask about a leader, AI probably assume a man, a white color, blah, blah, blah. Just test it and see what it comes out. And then you can always say, oh, where are you getting this information from? Why don't you include black or people of color? Option ask for health advice specific to your background. So does it adapt? So AI will, if you ask AI about particular diabetes or something and say you're a person of color, what outcome do you get? You can now actually start with now adding your background, and then AI will give you an output, and then you can go back and say I'm a person of color, age this, blah blah blah, diabetes, and then AI will tell you exactly how diabetes affect people of color. So it's not the same. That's the thing that I want you to take away. That AI will give you answers, but if you don't probe it properly, you might get vague or generic answer, something that represents everybody, but not specifically to people of color, like me and you guys. Once that happens, you verify it. Anybody have any questions? We have this bit. I think we've already done this complete AI, safety check. Something that I think we use this all the time. So never share your NI number, bank details, passport, full address, children's full name, school password, immigration document. So these things that I think I always repeat it in the sessions that we had. So something that I think everybody knows. And so you can just pick this somewhere and put it or screenshot it and have it. So whenever you are asking AI anything, just use range. So if you are saying something like I'm a mother, single mother of two, I earn between 2,000 to 3,000 pounds a month. You put that there. The AI actually doesn't know. You don't put your name. You don't put I live in Liverpool. Liverpool, a lot of people of color live there. If you do that, you can get the same answer as opposed to say my name is this, don't do that because you don't know who's actually listening. And especially when you're using the free version, they use your data to train the models. And so there's a bit of questions out there that AI is still trying to answer, and nobody knows. I mean, OpenAI, the guy himself, he said it. They don't actually know. If you listen to Elon Musk videos, they will tell you that they don't actually know the end of AI because AI is actually advancing so quickly. But the reason why they're doing that is because China is actually moving so fast to the point where if America and the West doesn't do the same, they will be left behind. And so we have to, run quickly to catch up, and everybody has to know it. That's what the government is actually trying to help everybody in this country to learn AI. So your journey, we've done all the 6 sessions, AI, from the beginning, AI is not here to replace you. We've done that. We've done the job. Free tools. We've done, project management. We've done the, prompt engineering, and then we've done how to use AIs and take control. So that is the end of this whole, sessions. And if you have any questions, you can ask. I mean, you don't have to, end it from here. You have to keep going, because the thing about AI is changing. The models are changing. When I started, AI is 4 point something. Now with 5.2, 5.3. That is ChatGPT. When you go to Claude, is the same thing. I use Claude Opus and Claude Sonnet, and they are 4.6, 4 point something. It is just the same. Gemini is also changing as well. So if you want to use anything, I would just recommend these three for you: Google Gemini, Claude, and then ChatGPT. And they all have pros and cons. There's something that I can share in a WhatsApp group. So depending on what you want to do, and if anybody have something specific that they want to do, they can just reach out, just send a message in a WhatsApp group and say, "Oh, Mr. Steve, I want you to help me with this." I mean, I can tell you what exactly you have to do, which tools to use for that. Yeah, so that is the idea. I think everybody should be proud of themselves, because telling you, I've got friends that I went to university with. They are working right now. They don't know anything about AI, because they work in finance, and they don't use a lot of AI. So sometimes when I talk about Claude and that, because they go to work, they come back home, they're tired. So they don't have time to spend time to, learn anything about AI. And the government is actually making it compulsory that by 2030, everybody at least should have some decent knowledge about AI. So that's what it is. So we are here. The course is ending, but your AI journey is just beginning. So keep practicing. That's what you need to do. Keep it safe. Always secure your details and verify it. So the safe is input and the verify is output. How what before you write anything into AI, just make sure you use this framework, and then when it comes out, you verify. And then you teach others. Share what you learn, with others. That's the best thing to learn. Way back when I was at university, I always learn something and then I go and teach my friends. And as soon as I teach them, it just stick into my memory or brain better than just reading it from the book. So you learn something and also teach somebody. Stay connected on WhatsApp. I think you should be proud of yourself, because not a lot of people have done this. There are people that want this particular thing because this is well, structured, and if you can go to YouTube and learn something, but if you don't really have basic foundation understanding of how you wouldn't, so they'll be giving you do this, do that, and they don't have time for you to. Here we have a WhatsApp group, and Sylvia Julie is doing well and is supporting. I can see the thing is sometimes I'm busy, so I don't, post a lot in the group. But if somebody asks me specific question like, Mr. Steve, how do I do this? I'll respond. And so yeah, that is it. So any questions from here? We can take it before we close it.
There are no questions in the chat, so
Today, no questions.
no.
No.
You also have access. You would see if there were any.
Eh?
You have access to the chat. If there are any questions, you
Oh,
can
yeah. All right. Okay, so should we end this now then?
So since there are no questions, there are no
But you can ask them if anybody, maybe they might have questions, but
they usually put them in the chat way before this point. We also have a link for you to give us your feedback regarding today.
oh yeah.
As you know, today we had 2 facilitators, even though one was stopped within 10 minutes of speaking. It wasn't funny. But you definitely need to fill in our review form, and also also give us your feedback on our website if you do get a minute. This is literally the end of our 6 sessions together. This is the final session on artificial intelligence that we have for you at the moment. We always have training going on, but that training is actually training that usually is paid for by an organization, where we actually invite people to join if they're interested. We have partnered with the Phoenix Way, and we will let you know when the next session that they have actually facilitated is taking place. Usually we go deep into the technical side of AI and how to really utilize AI for good, and for your workflow, for your administrative purposes, for automating your daily tasks that you do every day. We literally show you how you can use AI inside your Gmail and create professional emails that represent you, because you obviously, as Stephen has been telling us every single time, you are the boss. You get to decide what goes out with your name and signature on it. These things will be teaching to the people who have been showing up consistently from day one, who have been engaging, not just here in the live sessions, but also on the WhatsApp chat. Obviously, we have a celebration event. This is in person, so we won't be on Zoom. I hope nobody will show up on Zoom hoping to be celebrating on Zoom. We're going to be celebrating in person on the 29th of April, where we will receive a small certificate. It is just a certificate saying you participated, but it will show exactly what you learned so that you can also use it in your day-to-day life if you so wish. For those of you that wish to learn more about AI and using AI in your day-to-day work, I highly encourage you to visit the Steve Academy. Steve can post that link in the chat. He has been very reticent and very shy about sharing.
I'll do that, Sylvia. And sorry today, because you said I cut you off. I didn't actually cut you off. What I was just trying to do is that because we sent email to each other and said you said you used 20 minutes to do that. So when it was about 25 minutes, I was like, oh, okay, let me just, because normally we do over, the time that we're supposed to spend for. And today it was really important. I was just thinking after 20 minutes, let me just start, because otherwise I will not finish. I think my third session, we have to rush through things because I was running late to complete, and so that's why I was just doing. But that's fine. I've got a lot of things that I can, help these people with. But if anybody is interested, like you said, just reach out and I'll send the link in my, the WhatsApp group, and they can have a look. What I do is not just training like people like I did. I train people in the financial sector. And so my safety and verified protocols are registered as a trademark, and I use it, to train people who works in banks and, regulated environment like healthcare, professionals and stuff like that. So it's not just this one that we've just done. So they can go to the website, have a look, and if anybody needs something, they can reach out, because I write code. My background is in computer programming, and so it's in Python. And if I want to go like hallucination, for instance, there's something called temperature that actually make AI hallucinate. But if I start talking about temperature, people will be thinking about temperature as Celsius or Fahrenheit. And I was not going to talk about. This is why I have to design the course to meet, the standards of the people that I'm actually talking to. But when we take it to a different level, I can talk about different things. And so that's what it is.
All right. Okay. As I was saying, which he has done, he has spoken for himself. Mr. Nyako can help you in other ways when it comes to artificial intelligence and digital technology. So if you have bigger fish that you want to fry and you wish to learn more about AI, I encourage you to check out Steve Academy. It actually is his web link. He says he'll post it in the WhatsApp group as opposed to posting it here. That's okay, because when you post it here, it is actually going out into our hub as well, so people will remember, as opposed to having to we close the WhatsApp groups. Our training hub stays. That's the difference. It was your choice.
Let me do it.
So you can post it to the group chat, or you can post it to the WhatsApp group that will close once this project is done. I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, participants, for showing up for yourselves, for allowing us to pour into you, above all, for allowing Mr. Stephen Nyako to share his expertise in AI technology. Please, let's give him a huge round of applause. Unmute yourself and clap for Mr. Nyako. Unmute yourselves, ladies, if you're live, or give us a digital clap if you're not able to clap, and people will be like, oh, this person, what are they clapping? Let's give Mr. Nyako a WODIN vote of thanks. And it can be digital, it can be physical, but definitely let's give it to him, and I'll lead the way. Well, I'll just take off my, so you can see me. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's awesome.
I appreciate it.
We
It's
really
awesome.
appreciate your
It's
time, your
awesome. I
expertise,
mean,
your effort, your
yeah,
knowledge, your giving back to WODIN, because we know,
yeah,
this is not what we're paying you is nowhere near the rate you charge, and we are grateful
exactly,
that you are allowed to
exactly.
give back to us.
I did telecommunication, and then from there I went to University of York to do masters in cyber security before I started, working like properly. And I've developed my skills in AI compliance and things like that. So if you go to my website, you might see something that probably doesn't make sense to what we're talking about right now, but it's to do with AI security. So AI, everybody's using it, but they don't know how to use it safely, because you might get yourself exposing some information that will come back to haunt you. And that's all we talk about. Today's lecture is very important. People know how to use AI very well, but they don't actually think about the security side of things.
Right. So with
Steve,
that said,
have we got the link to you or
yeah,
anywhere to contact
it's in
you?
our WhatsApp group chat. We're very fast, Rosemary. You know us.
Oh, thank you.
Hasn't noticed, but
I've not noticed it, that's why.
we are very fast.
I know you are.
It's already
I'm
gone into our WhatsApp group, and anyone who needs to connect and learn more, you go straight through his website, and please feel free, because we are all free. We're all free.
Oh, thank you.